What if I told you that gym also makes you a better player? When you want to get better at video games, there are a few things that you do. Learn from pros, review your games, keep playing, improve mechanically. Those are just the common things people do to improve at their game of choice. But what if I told you that there is another that you're missing out on? And that is working out. Okay. What is this video really about? This is an experiment of can doing something physical translate into being better at the game you're playing. I know it's been a meme that most gamers that are better than you probably do not go outside or touch grass. We associate doing nothing all day but play games to being better at playing games. So it's funny that I even brought this up. But hear me out. You know how we have heard countless studies on how working out improves your mental health, but we never heard anything about gaming. Maybe because we never expected to. But we often forget that when we play, especially competitively, we actively use our mind, like making quick decisions. So my question is, does working out directly or indirectly improve our skills? That's what we're here to find out. We're going to specifically focus on the game League of Legends. Might have lost some of you there, but listen. Any other games like FPS, rhythm, fighting mainly focus on one or two things. FPS like Valorant or CS2 lean heavily into aim, reaction time, and precision. Or rhythm games like also are just muscle memory and repetition. Fighting games like Tekken are execution heavy, but MOBAs are different. They combine mechanics, strategy, and decision making. And I'm choosing League because that's the only MOBA I play. But I don't want to just play any champions, no. Since different champions have different roles with different playstyle. For this one, I would be picking the tank role. Not only because I'm a tank main myself, but also with tanks, you have to commit and just trust your instincts. And if the gym really gives some kind of buff, then this role should expose it immediately. I will also not be consuming any types of League of Legends media during this to not interfere with my progress since it might subconsciously help me play better. So we're going to take my raw gameplay, disclaimer I'm bad, pre-experiment, and then compare it to our gameplay after to see if there's any changes made. Before the experiment, I have noticed that there are three main problems on how I play tank. One is confidence. For example here, Science ult allows him to move unstoppably like a train and ram into something or someone. This is a good place to ult. But I didn't. Looking back now, I know it's a sure kill, but I hesitated due to my lack of confidence to kill him. Second, you could say this is still a problem with my confidence, but instead I'll separate it. Overkilling. There are times I waste my ult to get a kill instead of utilizing its effective range and engage like here. I could have used my ult to get away, but I instead use it to secure an already secured kill, which led me to dying. And lastly, ego, the opposite of my lack of confidence, which causes me to make decisions irrationally. Like here for example, I tried to get the cannon because I'm behind in gold and CS, I failed so punishes me. This is a good time to escape with my ult, but instead I chose to turn 180 degrees for some reason and get myself killed. And that's what I want to work on, to see if gym and the chemicals it brings can help me fix those mistakes I made and become a much better and more effective tank. And so I did. Now let me explain to you while I work out in the background on why I think working out will make you a better player in details. According to the study I found, working out doesn't just improve your physical self, but also your mental state. When you work out, your body signals your brain that you are doing something important and demanding, which allocates resources in your brain. You see, from an evolutionary perspective, doing something physically demanding usually means something serious is happening, like hunting, fighting, or escaping danger. So the brain releases chemicals to help you perform better. According to the research, studies demonstrate that acute exercise stimulates the increase of a variety of neurochemicals, which just means that these are the chemicals your brain produces. But in this topic, we are only interested in two neurotransmitters, which are the brain's chemical messengers that carry signals like stay alert or calm down, and one neuromodulator, a chemical that changes the overall state of your mind. Dopamine, we know, is the pleasure chemical, but it's not just that, it's also the motivation and reward chemicals. It helps with confidence, reward anticipation, and decision making. An increased dopamine makes you more mentally energized, more confident, and more engaged. Norepinephrine, or also known as noradrenaline, is our alert system and the one that regulates our attention. It increases our alertness, focus, reaction, and it also makes us feel mentally awake. And endocannabinoids cannabinoids. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Which are the ones strongly associated with the term runner's high. If you don't know, runner's high is that feeling of like everything is just in place. Most often associated with running, of course. It's a brief moment where you should be pushing past your comfort zone, but instead of being uncomfortable, you feel this sense of euphoria where despite your condition, you still feel like you could still run for hours. It makes you more clear-headed and calmer if under pressure. According to the study, things like attention, decision-making, problem-solving, and cognitive control improve the most within the 2 hours of exercise before returning back to normal, which means we only have around 2 hours to see if this actually changes how I play. With all that in mind, let's see the results. Did it actually improve my gameplay or did it just give me sore muscles? Going in, I expected myself to become much more aggressive but with some level of control behind it, because if working out really gives me confidence, then it should make me a much more effective, unstoppable force, right? Wrong. Well, partially. There are multiple moments where I did the exact opposite. Instead of forcing fights, I restrained myself. For example, in this clip, I've always had a hard time playing against Riven. You'd expect me to fight her here. I'd expect myself to fight her here. She's lower health than me, so surely I win this, right? But after thinking about it, I realized I wouldn't benefit from this trade, especially with all her minions ready to attack me, so I backed off. Not because I was scared, but because I assessed the situation clearly. Another example is here. We're both low and I have a full combo ready. Normally, I would have gone all in immediately, but I realized Darius still had hook and life still available, and my combo wasn't enough to kill him. So instead of forcing a fight, I restrained myself. Again, I wasn't scared, I was playing smart. But I didn't start playing passively either. I had moments where I knew exactly when to fight and when not to, and I didn't overkill this time. I knew that if I didn't use my ult there, she would have gotten away because of my limited mobility and her dash. More than anything, I started understanding my limits more clearly. I knew what I could and could not handle, not based on ego, panic, or hesitation, but based on actual judgment. If I'm confident I can pull this off, I can pull this off. But just because I had a clearer mindset didn't mean that I was suddenly immune to my ego. The gym helped my mindset, but it didn't magically fix me. Just a few minutes after that close fight, I still let my confidence get into my head and started playing like I was unstoppable. But compared to before, it happened way less often. And that's when I realized it. The gym didn't suddenly improve my mechanics or magically made my rank higher overnight. But what it did change is how I think in-game. A calmer, more decisive, and less emotional player. I stopped hesitating as much, but I also stopped forcing fights just because of ego. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned from this. Working out didn't change how I play. It changed how I approach dealing with everything that comes with playing. So yes, the gym does make you a better gamer.
Here we go.